Hey, hi, hello. My name is Emily, and thanks so much for hanging out with us on the Today Needs You podcast. This is where we have the chance to chat about all the things, from feelings and friendships to our favorite sneakers and our favorite Bible verses. We're going to tackle it all. I'm super pumped about today's episode, so let's dive in together. Hi, Isabelle.
Hi.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today on the Today Needs You podcast. I am super pumped to be joined by my friend Isabelle Covert. It's so fun to hang out.
I know. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes. Before we dive in, we're just going to talk about some exciting things about connecting with God and learning and growing as people. Because I think that's something that you are very attuned to, keen with, something like that. But before we dive in, tell us a little bit about yourself, Isabelle.
Okay. I'm a freshman at Westlake High School. It's pretty cool being in high school this year. Kind of something new, but it's exciting. I play soccer. Yeah. I play soccer. I'm on JV this year, which is pretty cool. Pretty fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. We're starting our second round of districts this next week.
Good luck.
Which is exciting. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of
involved with FCA.
Yeah, I'm part of FCA. I'm a student leader this year, so it's fun kind of getting to learn the ropes about everything and just figure everything out. Yeah.
You've been involved with FCA kind of all the way through, right?
Yes, since middle school. You couldn't technically be a leader till 7th grade, so I started being leader then. Yeah. And then just continued on with it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out.
Of course.
Okay, let's dive into saggy-braggies.
Okay.
It's basically like highs and lows, but your braggy has to be an achievement or an accomplishment because we want to be each other's cheerleaders and because we're in each other's corner. And so it's fun to root for each other and celebrate when we have something to celebrate. So I will go first because I like to not always put it on the guest.
Perfect.
But my saggy is that my dog Walter is very spirited and has a lot of personality. Mm-hmm. And I have windows at the top of my front door, and anytime someone is at the front door, wherever he is in the house, he will sprint and make a beeline, and he literally jumps and makes eye contact with whoever is at the front door. And so we are having to untrain that. Yeah. And so that's my saggy. Yeah, it's taking a long time. A lot of discipline on my part. Not having him be on the furniture and sleep in his crate instead of cuddling with me in bed. Gets sad. Yeah, so I think I'm more upset about it than he is, which is why it's my saggy. But my braggy should just be that I'm so that, but I'm gonna brag about something else. My braggy is that I do a clothing subscription service, Newly, and I really loved 3 of the 6 things that I got in my box. Yeah. But the whole point is that you pay to get stuff that you then send back so that you don't end up with a bunch of clothes. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I'm really working on it. Yeah. And there was this fuzzy jacket that I was completely in love with, and I actually sent it back. And it took so much effort.
That's an accomplishment.
Thank you. Yeah. And I'm very proud of myself. Even my brother was like, you sent the puffy jacket back.
Takes a lot of
the fuzzy jacket.
Yeah, takes a lot of confidence.
So my support system was there for me, and I was really proud of myself.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yes, thank you for understanding.
Of course.
Isabelle, tell us your saggy-braggy.
Okay, my saggy, it's probably that since we missed last week's school because of the ice storm, we have so much makeup work. Yes. It's a lot. Yeah. So that's not hardcore. Fun. Yeah, it is. So we just had so many tests and quizzes and all of that this week. It's a lot. My braggy is probably that we won our soccer game yesterday, which was super exciting.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And our past couple of games have gotten canceled for
because of
weather, and then I don't even know, a bunch of reasons. So it was fun to play and then, come out on top.
Yes, super nice. And that's in the playoffs.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You'll have to keep us posted
I will.
on how the playoffs go. Yeah, we're in the middle of middle school basketball playoffs and soccer playoffs.
Yeah.
It's an exciting, busy time.
It is.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay, so as we dive in, I wanted to talk about we exist to help girls connect with God and connect with others, and be reminded that we're not alone. And so I wanted to get your tips and like what has worked for you. What are some ways that you connect with God throughout the day, throughout the week, kind of consistently?
Yeah. For me, a big one is definitely music.
Oh, yeah.
I play the guitar and the piano, so that's like a big thing for me, I guess.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and just like, I don't know, if I'm like at school and like something goes wrong, just kind of like listening to music. I have like my little playlist of all my like Christian music. I don't know. Just listening to that, it's kind of helpful just to,
that's awesome.
Hear something.
Yeah, I love the idea of playing music as a way to connect with God, because I think
and learning songs and things like that.
Yeah.
It just helps like to connect to it, I feel like.
That's super cool. And I think the creativity piece of it,
definitely.
like, that's something that I think is, whether it's drawing, whatever it may be,
even just like writing stuff down.
Yes, totally.
Like having like a journal,
that creativity,
or like the notes app in your phone.
Yes, such good ideas. Because I think like I just think that's a way that we are made in God's image, because God is creative and created the world and created us. And
so we get to do the same thing.
Yeah,
in a way.
We're made to be created.
Yeah.
To be creative. And so I love that example as a way to connect with God. That's super cool. I've been working on my creativity outlet is like these days. Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's super exciting. It actually is like super fun. And
I bet.
I've like gotten super fixated on it because I knit a lot when I was in middle school.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just like stopped doing it.
I see it like all over TikTok, like making the blankets and everything.
And it's like so therapeutic and just like because you have to like get a rhythm and you're like doing things, but then it also has that like creativity piece. It's super fun. I love that.
I love that.
Well, thanks. That's such a good idea. So many good ideas. Okay, and what is something that if you could tell your 10-year-old self, what would you hope she hears from you?
Probably I would just say to be confident, because that was like a big thing for me, in like middle school.
Yes.
And I'm young for my grade. So like going into middle school, being like a year younger than everybody else it was crazy. So I don't know. I was really shy. I was quiet. Mm-hmm. So I wish I could have just been like more confident in myself and like my faith and I don't know, all of that. Cause I never wanted to talk about, I don't know, church or whatever. Cause I was just scared about it. So I wish I would have just been more confident in, who I am. And I feel like kind of figured that out now through music and that kind of thing.
I love that. That's what I was going to ask you. What does being confident look like to you now that you feel like you've kind of gotten a rhythm with it? What does that look like?
I feel like kind of just not being afraid to, like, if someone asks me a question about, I don't know, church or whatever, just not being afraid to like tell them about it rather than just being like, oh yeah, like I go to church.
Yeah, that's just like a thing I kind of do.
It's just like a thing. Yeah, I don't know, I'm more open about it and it's just easier for me to talk about, which I think is really nice, and it kind of helps people to like take that step.
That is super cool. Yeah. Could I ask you, what is something you enjoy or appreciate, or like why do you go to church?
A lot of it is community, I think. Just having those people that like if you're having a bad day or something happens, someone you can text or just like call that you go to church with. And it's just nice to be able to talk to those people, and you go back every week and see the same people, and it's
That's super nice. I love that. That is something that's with the All the Things community. That's something that I like really hope that this becomes for people, because that's something that I think when you say that. That's something that I've benefited from with the church. And so supporting the local church and encouraging everyone to dive into that, and also knowing that like this is a place where like I hope connections are made, and
everyone believes the same thing. They're all kind of on the same path you are in a way.
We're like valuing, yes, we're like operating with the assumption that, or not the assumption, but like we're coming together saying we're operating out of scripture
with the same idea.
Yeah. And like super grateful that God made each and every one of us, and us being literally every human being ever, which I just think is super cool. That I get super excited about that God made people in his image.
Yeah. And like specifically, like for a reason.
How cool.
It's crazy to think about.
And that speaks to the confidence thing too, I think.
Totally.
To know like, that's why we say today needs you, because we believe that wholeheartedly about each and every person.
Yeah.
And I think, is that something like you have church on Sundays, you have FCA, but how does that confidence play out for you throughout the week?
I think a lot of it, I think FCA having it in school is super nice because we have it on Thursdays during lunch. So it's like, I get to go to that every Thursday and I look forward to it. So I don't know. It's kind of like a high of my week usually, which helps with confidence, definitely, because I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, okay, like I have FCA Thursday so I can invite people to it. And that kind of helps me like staying confident, just like being able to, talk about it.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It kind of like bridges that. It sounds like it would help bridge the like church is over here, school is over here.
Because it's in school.
Yeah.
And like people who don't know what it is, they're like, oh, there's free food there. I'm going to go.
And you're like, ooh.
Like they have pizza. I'm going to go.
I'll be there.
Like,
yes. We did Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets before church every Wednesday. And that was definitely why
totally
we had certain friends come.
Totally.
Which is super fun.
Yeah.
Food is always a win.
100%.
That's why I went sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Chick-fil-A today. Gotta go.
Yeah. I love it. Yep. I love it. Okay. The last question I wanted to ask you, I may ask questions attached to it, but this is the last like header question, if you will. Is what is something that you hope to learn, or like something you hope to get good at or develop in the next year?
I think, I'm trying to, there's a couple different things that I'm thinking about.
You don't have to narrow it down. You can tell us both.
One of them would definitely be continuing with my music, because I've never gone to like music lessons, which is like, maybe I should, but maybe not, because I'm kind of teaching it to myself. So I just want to keep working on that, which is, I don't know, something I think is pretty cool.
I love that. How do you fit it in with all of the other things that you have going on?
Well, it's kind of usually sometimes a weekend thing. Yeah, it's like a Saturday thing, because right now we don't have club soccer, so my weekends are empty.
For now.
Until like March.
Okay, yes.
So I just kind of fill my time with that. That's definitely something I want to keep working on and progressing with.
Yeah, that's awesome. What was your second one?
Well, I want to like kind of more in the creative aspect of things, or just I want to keep working on like writing my thoughts down and things.
Okay, yes.
Because I think a lot of the times I just keep things internally and then it'll explode one day.
Yes. The volcano erupts.
Never good.
Yeah.
So I think writing stuff down is definitely something that I need to keep working on.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What do you have, like a format or like a way that you typically do that when you do it? Or do you just start like writing thoughts?
Sometimes it's just if I have a thought, I just write it in my notes app.
Ooh, nice.
And then I have a journal.
Like as you are going kind of thing.
And then I have a journal at my house. So like whenever I get home, I'll like open my phone and write down everything I just jotted down that day.
Oh, cool. So you kind of like revisit it.
Like debrief my day, kind of. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Which is like something I want to keep doing, because it's not a everyday thing.
That's really awesome. That's what I actually just started. I had heard it on a podcast, Jess Connolly, and they were talking about how they do. I've always like associated journaling with like quiet time and like prayer and like being in my Bible. But they do like a separate daily writing thing where they just like, it may start with gratitude, but then it just becomes their like thoughts as they go.
Or just starting with like a prompt and then just.
Yeah. And I've been doing that. I've literally only been doing it for 3 days and I'm already so obsessed with it.
It's so nice.
It's so nice and it's
even
underrated.
if you don't have that much to say, like that day, it's just putting something down.
Yes.
And then it becomes a habit.
Yeah. It's so nice to just be like you said, like process a little bit. And that's another, like I started running without music.
Yeah.
Well, really, I started running, period. Hard stop. That's not a thing I do. But I started running without music, and it just, like, I do actually, like, process my thoughts.
Yeah.
Because I'm really good at, like, having thoughts, like, a lot. Like, my brain is overwhelmed most of the time. But actually, like, processing them and, like, letting them go and letting them out is, like, that writing it down piece. Yeah, I'm working on that with you, Isabelle.
Yeah.
It's pretty, like...
It's a big one.
It is, and it's one of those things that, like, I think you don't necessarily know the benefits. The benefits don't make sense until you feel it.
Exactly.
It's even hard to articulate.
Like, thinking about it, it's just like, oh, writing something down. Like, I can just think about it in my brain. Like...
Yeah, what's the difference?
Yeah. But I feel like writing it down, you can go back. And, like, if it's something hard or difficult, like, once you get past it, going back and being like, oh, shoot. Like, I made it through that. It's cool.
And it's kind of like making your thoughts like physical in a way.
Totally.
Like to put them on like actual words on actual paper. And it's like, oh, there they are. That's all they are.
Yeah, that's it. Like it's not that crazy.
They don't control me.
Totally.
I control them. That's how I feel today.
100%.
Apparently. That's where I am emotionally.
Yeah.
Welcome. I love it. Isabelle, do you have any final thoughts to wrap us up?
Honestly, not really.
Yeah. I love it. No, I like to ask.
I kind of went through it all.
I really do. Speaking of thoughts and letting them out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
For hanging out with us, and we'll probably see you again sometime
Hopefully.
soon. I hope. But yeah, you all have a great rest of your week. Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see y'all next time. Thanks so much for listening while we're just getting started. If you want to stay plugged into this community, like, subscribe, and let us know what you'd like to hear more about, who you would like to hear from by shooting us an email at info@allthethings.community.